Hello everyone and welcome back for the second season of the Trio Marble Championship, and it's hosted by a familiar face from Season 1. The Polar Panthers will be auto-qualified, along with the podium of Season 1, the Hummingbirds, the Wolf Warriors, and the Lilac Lightning. All have already made it. Everybody else is fighting for 12 spots. The 12 teams that did not podium or host, and 4 new teams will be competing for those 12 spots in Event 1 and 2 of the qualifiers taking place today. Ice block pushing is up first. In the ice block pushing, each team will get one chance to push a block of ice as far down the track as possible. The team's score will be measured by how far they do end up pushing that block of ice. The 4 teams that are already qualified will take place in a friendly match, and here are the hosts, the Polar Panthers. The fans going wild as they set the first score of the day. Looks to be around that 19-inch mark. So I'm unsure how that's going to stack up to their times. We've seen nothing so far. This is the first run of the day. We've also seen in the past that hosting doesn't mean too much for the teams. The Plasma Stripes hosted Season 1 and did not do very well. Polar Panthers hoping for a better result. And is 19 inches a good result or not? We'll have to find out soon. Here come the Lilac Lightning, the champions of Season 1. And they better it. That's at least 23. It looks like around 23.1 maybe. Lilac Lightning already off to a better start than the Polar Panthers. It's to be expected. They are the defending champions. And I think they did employ a better strategy overall than the Polar Panthers. They had 2 kind of sneak out front and the third one lay back and then push everybody forward at the end. I'm not sure if that's a one-off or if it is a strategy teams will want to replicate. Wolf Warriors keep everyone together. One of them kind of entering the block. I feel like they could have maintained that energy a little bit better. Unfortunately, they went too far and their teammates were pushing the weight of the block and the marble. So they will finish worst of the 3 so far, the 13-7-5. Meaning the Polar Panthers are not the worst team so far. That's what the fans like to hear. Everybody okay down there, Wolf Warriors. Nobody got injured, nobody got hurt. We head to the final run of the friendly, the Hummingbirds, employing a strategy similar to the Lilac Lightning and doing it even better. That's a 26-5 almost. And that is exactly the momentum they needed. They are not the hosts. They are not the winners of Season 1 or the runner-ups. So the Hummingbirds coming into this friendly with something to prove. Unsure if everybody trying their hardest. Teams like Lilac Lightning are already qualified. Well, all 4 of these teams are already qualified, but Lilac Lightning have already proved themselves. Hummingbirds happy to prove themselves here, taking the first gold of the friendly round. And now we head on to the qualifiers. Magmatics were the best team not to qualify. They got 4th in the main tournament, barely missed the podium. And they're hoping for a good start here. Magmatics go down. They're spread out and they come together. A good score going off of what we've seen so far. A 22.5 almost. That's better. That would be good enough for, I believe, 2nd in the friendly. It might have been 3rd. I'm sorry. I'm blanking on the score of the Lilac Lightning now. But it is a good opening run for the Magmatics at 22.5. We've seen worse and we will see better. Here are the Camos. Camos also had a good Season 1, barely missed the podium along with the Magmatics. They will not do as good as the Magmatics here, but they did employ a similar strategy. So obviously the weight of the marbles comes into play, but I think it more so is just how you spread yourself out. Lilac Lightning and the Hummingbirds had 2 in the front and 1 in the back. The Camos keep 2 in the back and go with 1 in the front, trying something different, I guess, to see if they could get ahead. It's only enough for 21-63 and 2nd out of 2 so far. The Ferocious Flames go down. And I believe they best what the Camos just put up. But I don't know if they beat the Magmatics. Obviously, we're going in reverse championship order now. So the Magmatics got 4th in the season, 5th for the Camos, 6th for the Ferocious Flames. They do beat the Camos. They do not beat the Magmatics. Team Antimatter up now. They had a great end to last season. 21-3 looks like. That's nowhere near what we've seen from the other teams. It may be 4th just off the top of my head, but I cannot remember. Another one similar to how the Magmatics did it, but not with the same velocity, I guess, because they are 4th of 4, 21-25 is the current lowest. Here come the Red Rogues. And they beat, I believe, everyone so far. The Red Rogues had a great time there. And they were a mid-pack team Season 1 pretty much the entire way through, so if they can come out here and prove themselves early in the qualifiers, that's exactly what they need as a team. Hopefully they can carry that momentum into the season. Here come the Electrolytes. Heat 6 of 16. And they knock the block off the tracks onto the measuring tape. One of their marbles exits the lane, and two of them keep on going right past the block. So what happened here? Oh, I think it was just all three of them connected together at the same time with the block. They are currently appealing to see if they can get a second chance. And they do. The electrolytes have been given the green light to go a second time. And they actually set a very good time there. It's either second or third. I'm not sure where that stacks up with the Magmatics time. It does not beat the Red Rogues. So they are happy they got an appeal. I think it really just came down to bad luck. They employ a similar strategy, but look how they connect a solid second or two before the block. So they keep their strategy, but they change it a little bit so that they are ahead of the block when they collide and not colliding on the block. Here come the Plasma Stripes as we near the halfway point. That's a great score from the Plasma Stripes, the hosts of Season 1. They could not get it done in their season, so they're hoping to employ a strategy similar to the successful ones of the Lilac Lightnings and Hummingbirds and the teams that did well in Season 1 heading into Season 2. They, I believe, tie the Electrolytes. They're given second place. I'm not sure how that'll work out. Here's Winfinity as we reach the halfway point. And that is by far the best time of the day. Winfinity is living up to their name, as I say every time they do good. But they don't do it very often. Winfinity did not, I believe, they did not win a single event in Season 1. And while they did medal, they would love to get a gold here in the qualifiers, especially in Event 1, just to get it out of the way, enter the season with some momentum, and hopefully finish the season better than they did Season 1. They can catch a glimpse of the 4 new teams out at the bottom. They will be the last 4 to run today. Provisionally, the Red Rogues are second to Winfinity, Magmatics in third. Here come the Surfers. That's a good score for them, around 22. Actually, it came out a little shorter than I expected. It's going to marry them in the middle of the pack. They won't be around the bottom. Well, they will be, I think, bottom half. They don't have to worry about last place at least. I think for a good enough score to podium, you're looking for at least a 23. We've only seen one team do it so far, but they got so much further that it leaves room to be experimented in. Victor Trees set a very similar score to what we just saw. But again, there is a big gap between around 23 to, I can't remember, I think Winfinity got around 27. There's a 4-inch gap almost that can be experimented with. And teams will fall in between there, probably closing out the podium as we finish Heat 10. Victor Trees, 22 solid. Here come the Laser Lights. Spread apart, and they do a similar strategy to what the Electrolytes did. They collide in front of the block. They don't knock it off, but it doesn't seem to be a strategy that works, because that's one of the lowest scores we've seen so far. And the Laser Lights, not the start they had hoped for. That yellow pillar in the background. If you can get the front of your block past that structure, I would consider that to be a good score. The Scientists, I believe, the last heat of familiar teams, and they end off the teams from Season 1 on a good note. That's past 30, and they are leading by a significant margin. And that's the momentum they needed. Last place in Season 1, I believe, all the way to first out of all the Season 1 teams in the qualifiers with a 30.25. And now here come the 4 new teams, the Night Drifts, the first of 4, looking to prove themselves, and that's a good score as well. Not as good as the Scientists. Is it enough for second? How does that stack up? But mainly against Winfinity. Similar color schemes and in a similar tier of performance here in the ice block pushing. Where will it stack up? It's third overall, 26-38, and with 13 teams already have gone, that means they're better than 10 teams. 10 teams from Season 1 already. Freeze burns in the gates and out of the gates, and they did not do very well comparatively to other teams. I don't know if it's last place, but it's not a good result there for the Freeze Burns in their debut. It's 14th of 14, so not good for the Freeze Burns. You'd think they would do good in an ice-themed league, so hopefully they can come back. Twilight Tailors now, the penultimate team. 19-something, even worse than the Freeze Burns, so they won't be placing last. Twilight Tailors have put up a solid case for that 16th spot. Not where you want to be. The bottom 4 will not qualify, so starting off anywhere in the top half is ideal. Anything below that, and you're a little bit nervous. A 19.75, the only team not to clear 20 so far. The Sparkling Stars will end us off. Can they do better than both other new teams? They just did. Not in the same tier as the Night Drifters, but that puts them solidly in the top half of the field. Let's see where it shakes out. We're entering Magmatics territory, I believe, in terms of score. Red Rogues as well. Somewhere in that top 5, they get 4th place with a 23 on the dot. And they will miss the podium, but they put up a solid performance in their first showing. And the Scientists will take the gold over Winfinity and the Night Drifts, 2 of those new teams in the top quarter, 2 of them at the bottom. But the Scientists are at the top of the first podium of the qualifiers. So the Scientists pick up 20 points, Winfinity 17-15 for the Nitrous. We look to the bottom. Team Antimatter, Laser Lights, 2 teams. Did not do that well in Season 1, down with 2 new teams, the Freezeburns and Twilight Tailors, below the qualification line. Now it's time for Ice Plinko. The goal is to get across the finish line as fast as possible. Here's the friendly round. Lilac Lightning take the top line. They get passed on the bottom by the Wolf Warriors. Can they fight back? They cannot. They will hold on to second place. It's a DNF for the Hummingbirds, who could not carry the momentum from the first event. But the Wolf Warriors on the bottom will win. Lilac Lightning held on to second barely. Polar Panthers tried to make a charge at the end here, but they just got stuck in that final row of Plinkos, and they'll have to settle for third. Witchstar of the Hummingbirds DNFs, but the Wolf Warriors win the second heat of the friendlies. And move on to the main events, and this is where points matter. Fahrenheit, Gamma, Hue, and Physics. Scientists at the top trying to carry this into another good performance. Can they? They will cross the line first and second for the Twilight Tailors. Laser Lights third and fourth for the Freezeburns, putting up 2 poor performances in a row. The Scientists, on the flip side, this is the best their form has looked in ages as they advance to the second round. Finally, a good showing for the Twilight Tailors. They needed one after that first event, 15th. Actually, I know 16th of 16. 15th was the Freezeburns. Now, Winwin, Sniper, Tsunami, and Electron. Winwin briefly had it. Now it belongs to Sniper. Look to the bottom. Can Tsunami pass? They can at the line. It is a close one, but Tsunami got by. Both will advance. Sniper and Tsunami. I also did not see who got third. Was it Electron? Was it Winwin? We'll have to check the cameras. But a very close race coming out of nowhere was Tsunami, but they had a very, very straight path in that second to last sector. And Winwin will take third. Sniper and Tsunami will move on. Plazzy, Stray, Oak, and Inferno. Plazzy is currently going to get caught up in Inferno, trying to do something similar to the first heat. They do. They pass at the end with a little more leeway than we saw Tsunami do, but Inferno gets in front and wins the heat over Plazzy. I believe that was Stray who got third. Oak got caught up there. It just kept on hitting over and over. Got almost stuck there, almost DNF like we saw Woodstar do. But everybody does finish this heat a lot closer, I think. The margins between the marbles. Inferno wins pretty handily there, though. Now, Scarlet, Lava, Sodium, and Glimmer. The top line, Scarlet has it. Oh, here comes Glimmer to get second place. Very close. You got to cross that line, not the finish line at the end. So Sodium does finish. Just gets caught up at the bottom of the board. Scarlet had it for the majority of the race. I believe had it since the beginning. They lose it there for a second, actually. But Glimmer cruises through for second. And it's third for Lava. Sodium gets fourth with one of the slower times of the day. We head on to the second round. Here are the 8 teams going no further. It is Stray and Oak at the bottom, so that heat was the slowest. Heat 3, I believe. Semi-final 1, Plazzy, Physics, Sniper, and Scarlet. Scarlet has it on the top. Physics had it briefly. Scarlet will finish first, I believe, but it's close. Did Plazzy get by? We'll check the replay. Both will advance to the finals. A good run here for the Plasma Stripes, as well as the Red Rogues. Who got it at the line? It was very close, but it was the Red Rogues. Scarlet holds it by 0.02 of a second over Plazzy. Sniper and Physics will go no further. Now, Hue, Tsunami, Glimmer, and Inferno, and they're off. Hue had it briefly. Inferno is holding it. Glimmer trying to get by on the top, but look to the bottom. Hue does get by, and it will be Hue and Inferno advancing to the finals. Glimmer tried to recreate what they did in their first race and just get by at the end with a straight path. They had it for a second up there, but then lost all momentum in a pitiful score for Tsunami, who will get 8th, I believe, after a beautiful performance for them in the first round. Does not carry over. Hue and Inferno making up those final 2 spots of the finals of Event 2. Sniper, Physics, Glimmer, and Tsunami will go no further, and it's a warm-colored finale. Scarlet, Plazzy, Hugh, and Inferno. Who will win? Hugh had it briefly. Inferno with lead once again. Scarlet trying to sneak by on the bottom. Hugh might have done it on the top. It will be a DNF for Plazzy, but the other 3 did medal. The question is, what order? Did Hugh get first, or was it Inferno? Some combination of that two will be standing on the first 2 steps of the podium. And I believe it was Hugh who got by first. It is. And the Twilight Tailors, from worst to first, they go from 16th in the ice block pushing to winning the Ice Plinko over Inferno. Scarlet, Plazzy just misses out. Sniper makes it the top 5. Twilight Tailor fans certainly are happy. They came all the way out here into the cold to watch their team, and a good performance in the second event makes up for a poor one in the first. We looked at the overall results of the Ice Plinko, and it's good news for some, bad news for others. Freezeburn's actually got a better point haul than anticipated, but for teams like Team Antimatter and Victor Trees, they both have stuff to be desired. Laser Lights sit in the bottom 4 with the 3 aforementioned teams. Look at the top. Can anybody catch the scientists? We'll find out. We'll catch you in the next video containing events 3 and 4 of the qualifiers.